Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's TV Reality Cast. You are listening to the recap of Love Island UK Season 7, Episode 19. Now, Chris, little bit of a slower episode today, but where do you want to start?
Well, Dave, we have a love triangle. A triangle that nobody wants, nobody cares about, but we have got Danny, Lucinda, and Aaron. And I think it's met its natural conclusion. Now, Danny, for me, there's just something off with him. But I do think there was a couple of bits in this tonight where I thought he tackled Lucinda correctly because she is as fake as anybody in there. And from both perspectives, Danny's not a nice guy. I don't think he's really on the edge. I don't like he's got a proper edge to him. But I also think Lucinda's been exposed now for gameplay, and I think the public are seeing it, Dave. And that's where I'm coming from on both of them. I think both of them need to go, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't really think I've changed my opinion from yesterday when I said a curse on all their houses. I just think the pair of them are as bad as each other. And I kind of want to see them gone from the island, to be honest. Yeah. I do think, Danny, we'd obviously said what we said yesterday. He's an angry, arrogant prick. Dangerous, got a sense of entitlement, just hugely distasteful all around. But I see what you mean about the fact that, well, Lucinda needed calling as well. She doesn't need nice guys to dance around the fact. Chris, the more I look at this, I know I've gone on about Lucinda's age a few times. The more I think she's fucking faking it somehow. She's faked her way to get on there because it's not just the way she looks, the fact that she looks fucking 16, 17 or something. She behaves like it as well. She behaves like she's that age and she's at the school disco and just loving all of the attention, not necessarily wanting to get involved in the drama when it all kicks off. It's like, oh, didn't know that was going to happen. Well, why didn't you? Because that's the game that you're playing and it's a dangerous fucking game. But, we take the piss out of Lucinda a little bit, don't we? Making an understatement about kind of like, really? And just the fucking hair twirling, little girly kind of attitude and the phrasing and everything like that. But there was something really off about it when Danny was doing it to the boys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was wrong. As soon as he started doing that, I was like, these two are never going to be together. I mean, Jake and Liam thought it was quite funny, but I do think that you don't do that, Dave. You've been in there. The guy's been in there for fucking 36 hours, 48 hours. He wants a full fucking relationship straight away. It's weird.
This is, again, I think he's a dangerous guy. This is a guy with a real fucking sense of entitlement, isn't it? Like you say, he's been in there, maximum 2 days? And he's already like, well, I'm not getting anything back. I'm coupled up with her. Therefore, I'm entitled to whatever, I just think he showed himself to be a massive prick there. Now, again, not defending his side, but it was funny. We'll come back to the Snog, Marry, Avoid game in a minute, but Danny does draw it to a conclusion, doesn't he? He is the one who he makes it. And then what do you think of how, so he finishes it off. And then what do you reckon to how Lucinda went back to Aaron and conveyed that message?
Well, Dave, it wasn't what us and everyone else was watching. I ended it with him. It wasn't, it wasn't a nice, I've ended, and me and Sam were going, fuck off. He ended it with, that's why I was going to give him credit. He was straight, I think he's rushing it far too much. She's got the ick for him. I'm still not convinced with the Aaron situation. I think she's just doing it out of convenience now to stay in. But he was right what he said. Let's just go as friends. There's too much pressure on us. I feel I've got a bit jealous. I did that to try and make you jealous. You weren't. I just think we need to be friends. Dave, honestly, I'm not giving him any credit, and I'm not saying I like the guy like that, but I thought he handled that correctly. But when she went back to Aaron, I was like, oh no, you've never, because when he said it to her, she couldn't believe that he was ending it. She's obviously never been in a relationship where someone's turned around and said, actually, I'm not feeling it with you. And I love his analogy of a Lamborghini. He went, it's like having a Lamborghini and it's just not working. And she went, I don't understand it. But when she was talking to him, she understood. And starts mentioning Ferraris. But when she went back to Aaron, she started digging him out. And I was like, you're not aware of the cameras here, Lucinda. You've really making a mistake.
Yeah, I think she's played this game many times before, to be honest, Chris. And we should call out as well. It's been reported in the papers. Who knows? Because not everything in the papers is obviously true. But apparently, she's going out with a Brighton Hove Albion player who dropped her off at the airport. So, we know that this is, you've called it brand Lucinda, haven't you? And I absolutely think it is. I honestly, Chris, I've seen enough of her now. I just want her off the island. It's Danny as well. Just the pair of them. Yeah. Fuck off.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree. I think that's a perfect way of it. I mean, the fact that her boyfriend she's basically the UK version of Grant Crap, isn't she? She's gone on there with an agenda just to get everything. I mean, even when she kissed Aaron, and I wasn't buying, that was very childish. She's looking, I'm not sure with Aaron, Dave, I'll be honest. I mean, Sam was like, I think he's been a bit snaky. And I'd not really seen it from him, but I give him a bit of credit what he did with Danny. But he's very cocksure of himself now, Aaron. And he's a good guy. He is a good guy. I love the way he's kept Kaz in there and stuff, but she's got to find someone. But I think all this is leading to Kaz now. He's in a bad spot because they're going to recouple, and it's her whose head's on the chopping block now, Dave. I think she's going to go. But I think the whole thing has gone to a natural conclusion. I honestly believe that this isn't the end. Lucinda's going to do something else with Aaron. And I think it's more a convenience thing because she knows she needs to recouple up properly. Oh,
yeah. She had no real options on coupling up. She once she'd been dumped, she had to go and then lay it on thick with Aaron. Because again, who knows? I think the boys picked last time, but the boys have picked a couple of times on the bounce, haven't they now? So I'm thinking probably the girls will pick next. So she's probably safe, but you never know. You're in there, you kind of have to edge your bets a little bit, don't you? Especially if you're there just to improve your own brand.
Yeah. So, I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see anything wrong with what Aaron did. Literally Danny had just walked into the villa, just happened to be a recoupling right there. He needs to make his move. What's he going to do? Sit in the friend zone for like Hugo for a week and then just see how things pan out and then realize, well, I see, Danny and Lucinda have got on well. So fuck, I missed my chance. I'm going home. So I don't see that he's been snaky. If Aaron was trying to like chat up Liberty or something like that, trying to get in there with a well-established couple, I could get it. But Danny and Lucinda were never fucking anything than just a bit of attraction.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I'm interested because usually Sam's radar's on there, Dave. So I'm going to keep an eye on that one as well. But what I would say, Dave, you're talking about people who I'm really off the train with me, is Hugo. He is an idiot. Hugo is fucking, I don't know what he wants in a girl. I don't know how. He's got a weird level of nobody's good enough for him. He's acting as if he's like the one that all the girls should be fawning over. And he literally talks himself out of a relationship. This is about the third time. There's an opportunity of him pursuing something. AJ, I'm not believing AJ either, I'll be honest with you, Dave. I'm really not. And the fact that when Danny kissed her, she's like, oh, hang on a minute. There is other options. And he was dead transparent because as soon as he'd been Lucinda off, he'd gone, hadn't he? And he's like, there's really something about AJ. And I'm like, is there, Danny? Is there really? Yeah, okay, mate. But anyway, sticking on Hugo, Dave, I'm out with this guy. I don't know what he wants, but he's an absolute bellend, the way he's at. I don't get it. He is a fake nice guy. I'm sorry. I don't know what he wants.
Yeah, I flip-flop a little bit. I do think he's another one. It's just, you can't have any more chances, mate. Just Just go home.
No.
I know you're enjoying a lovely holiday, and to be fair, I'd probably enjoy that holiday as well. But in terms of being Love Island, he's just not. He's not really giving it a chance, I don't think. All right, he made her a coffee and stuff. The thing that everyone seems to do, the lads make the girls the coffees in the morning and stuff. But he's just not really engaging with her, and I just don't really think he fancies her. As for Danny swooping in there, well, that is just the biggest strategic play of them all, isn't it? He can see that Hugo's not really giving her. She's laying it on thick, and Hugo's not coming back with very much at all. So Danny will quite easily, I think, swoop in there with AJ. And so, I think, Chris, there's a vote at the end of, or there was a vote at the end of the night. I hate the fact sometimes that you have to vote for your most popular, vote for your favorite person. It was tonight, wasn't it? Vote for your favorite boy and vote for your favorite girl. And sometimes I just want to vote for my least favorite.
well, I think it's going to weed Danny and Lucinda out, Dave. I really do now, because now Shaz has gone because she wasn't coupled up, and she was popular with some people, but I don't think she was like one of the favourites. This is a way of getting rid of one of them two. I think Danny's probably going to be more unpopular than Lucinda, but I think that's what's going to happen. I think the vote's going to come in. They're going to say who they voted for, and the Islanders have got to vote off that person. I think Danny might be gone. Reality radar, Dave. Hashtag.
Maybe. I do think that I said it yesterday. I'll say it today. Massively disappointed. I think Danny should have been ejected from the villa. There shouldn't be any vote. Shouldn't be any discussion. Just Danny has left the villa because the whole racial slur on social media and just some of the other things in and around him. The fact that he's acting like a massive fucking bellend as well is just, that's part of the reality TV. But all of the other stuff, that's what he should have gone for. But I just wonder if this vote, this kind of, it's not even midweek. Well, it is kind of midweek. It's Monday night, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bit odd, isn't it? You usually get something on a Thursday or a Friday. I just wonder if this is the producer's kind of easier way to get rid of Danny, sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and you're right. And I know obviously it's probably to do with the filming schedule, but you literally have, at the end of the show tonight, you've got 15 minutes to vote. And then it's all over. Yeah. So it always intrigues me what this. I don't know, just more from being a nosy point of view, but I'd love to know what the statistics are, why they do that so quickly. Then there's not like a 12-hour thing or whatever. So maybe it's because you strike while the iron's hot, people watch it and go, right, I'm voting for this person. I don't know, but it always seems really rushed, all that. But
maybe it's so that it's not too heavily influenced by social media.
Yeah,
I don't know why that would be. I would have thought that social media chatter would have, raised the profile of the thing. Yeah. But who knows? That's the only thing I can think of. But Chris, speaking of 15 minutes and it's over, what did you reckon to the hideaway?
Oh, fuck me, Dave. It's 15 minutes. He's a risky bastard. But there you go.
I mean, like getting in there, getting unchanged and stuff,
having a free course dinner,
having a brew after.
What made me laugh with all this, though, Dave, was they go in. Obviously, he's dressed as a cowboy. Chloe's looking all sexy. She's, I'm not wearing heels. Everything. They go in, and the draws there. Now, they showed a bit more action. This was a bit more Love Island, what we used to from previous seasons, Dave. You'd literally see everything, but they didn't hold back, these two. But what I love is the analogy, the football analogy, Dave. As two football fans, there was no diving headers, and we were debating who for, man or woman, whose head was supposed to dive in there. It sounded like there was a hand job probably, and a flooded pitch, Dave. I get thinking, I think who's flooded.
Yeah, he said it was 1-0. He said it was attacking on both sides. Both defenses were weak, so they were both, both well up for it. But then he said it was 1-0 to him. And then he said it was a flooded pitch. come on, we know. and even Ian Sterling called out the tissues, didn't he?
Yeah.
On the side of the bed.
Fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But they had a good time. And like you said, actually, they're cementing themselves as a good couple. So that's like, they're just slowly just doing their thing. And obviously all the Chloe heat is gone pretty much for me, to be honest, Dave. I don't really think...
just Chloe in general.
Chloe in general, just Chloe in general. There's no heat for me with them, which is quite good. So let's see how that one goes. But Dave, let's talk about the game. Snog, marry, pie. So, right, we start with Liam. Now, what I will say is the guys were good and funny. The girls, especially Faye, Dave, there was some proper cracks with these pies going in. But let's start with anyway. So Liam, he gets Kaz. He kisses Kaz. Now, Kaz did quite well, Dave. She got kissed 3 times in this game. Marry Millie and pie Chloe. So you're like, fair enough, no problem. And then it was all, what I love is they're like, it's my brother, it's my sister, she's my sister, Jake with Kaz all day, Liberty. It was wrong. Ed said this in our Discord, and he said they made it out like there was some beef because Jake had kissed Kaz, and there was nothing. The fucking producers were well having us at it, Dave.
It was almost to Bachelor levels where they play up this massive drama, and then it comes and it goes, and there's fucking nothing. That was the biggest manipulation of us that I've seen, I think, on Love Island. Completely. Yeah. Usually, if they show something, it means that is what the drama is going to be for the next episode. And maybe it might not be as big as you think it was going to be, but there was absolutely nothing at all. And so, we were fucking properly manipulated there. And will we be back tomorrow? Well, of course we will. But that is another negative point for them.
Yeah, and I think one of the other negatives I thought was a little bit disrespectful was Jake with AJ. He went, "Sorry, I don't know you, love," and then pied her. And I thought that's a little bit. I don't know. He just seemed a bit. The way he spoke to us a bit off. Do you know what I mean? Like I know he had to pick someone. I don't know whether she gets on with him. I don't know. It might have just been me. I just thought that was a bit off.
You know what? I didn't have that in my notes, but you're right. I mean, it's like it's the way he said it. I think for me, it was kind of a disrespectful looking down on her, like, "Sorry, love, don't know you," as opposed to like being, "Look, sorry, I don't know you, so gonna have to do this." Not necessarily exactly like that, but in an apologetic, smiley way. But it was a bit disrespectful, wasn't it? It was like, "Who the fuck are you?" kind of thing. Yeah,
I thought so. I say it wasn't a massive. That's about the only real thing. But then up steps. So Toby gets Chloe, Millie, and then Pie's Faye. Faye ended up with 3 pies, Dave.
Yeah, but she took it well. She's like rattling off the one-liners and stuff, and she didn't moan about it. Again, I think it was a good. She didn't really have that much screen time, but in the little bit that she did, I thought, again, she was quite endearing.
Yeah, and I think, and you're right. And then obviously Danny Boy steps up, and he straight away he looks at, I ain't spoke to you, and he snogs AJ, doesn't he? And then marries Millie and pies Lucinda, and you're just like, oh dear. Do you know what I mean? Like that was you knew that was the
that
end
was it. Yeah. He was saying like treat him mean, and I was like, yeah, mate, you're just not quite getting it. You get all the ladies, historically, because you're a very good looking bloke. And none of them stick around because they realise you're a toxic fucker. But I thought it was a massive misjudgment there, and from that point you knew it was only going one way.
Yeah, it was, to be fair. And I know, obviously, I didn't see much on the guys after that. We had Teddy, Hugo, Aaron. It was all pretty mundane, wasn't it? Unless you picked up on anything.
The one that I thought was brilliant, and it came from nowhere. Like Chloe smacked Liam, like with a fucking proper. I mean, he's a big bloke, isn't he? I'm sure he's played a fair bit of rugby in his time, but he took one. Like there was real force in that. Nearly took him off his feet.
It was brilliant. He even said, he goes, I've had a right whack there. She proper fucking drilled him one, Dave. That was a belter. Absolute belter. But yeah, I agree. It was funny. It was really, and he took it. He literally took it on the chin, Dave. So what did you think of the girls then, Dave?
Yeah, well, I thought the most interesting one was Lucinda. So, Danny had made his play. He pied Lucinda thinking, yeah, I'm clever, treating mean and all that. But she didn't even fucking pie him. She just completely ignored him. I can't remember who she fucking snogged and married and what have you. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting. And again, it was just a nail in the coffin for that relationship.
Yeah, it was, to be fair. It was. You're right. And I'd say which one I was a bit shocked by. What was fucking Toby's problem with Liberty? Not Liberty, it was Kaz, wasn't it? When he really had a slapped arse like face. She was trying to put the pie in his face. He really, I don't know what. He didn't take it. He didn't seem to take it very well.
Again, he was just wasn't really in the spirit of the game, was it? Just take the fucking pie. It's a cream pie. You know what I mean? It's not a fucking brick. Just take the fucking pie. It's all part of the game. But yeah, he was dodging and weaving, wasn't he? And someone even, I couldn't see who it was, but someone was creeping up behind him to try and hold his face in place. But yeah, I thought that was off. I mean, that's all to do with them two being together initially, wasn't it? And yeah.
We have a weird one, Dave, a weird one. So what are your predictions then, Dave, for this? Who's going to be the least popular?
I think there might be a shock in it, but I can't really see past Danny and AJ as being the least popular. Regardless of what, I think Lucinda will be down there as well. I think she'll be in the bottom two for the girls. But I think, maybe some of the younger crowd might not quite see the games and the manipulation that's going on and might kind of vote for her. But with Danny and AJ coming in last as well, that just makes me think, I wonder if there's going to be a bit of a shock. But if I was to put some money on at the bookies, it would be Danny and AJ.
Cool. I think it's a good call with AJ, actually. I'll stick to Lucinda and Danny. I think Danny's going anyway. But yeah, I agree. I think you're pretty close on that, Dave. So, Dave, anything else from today's episode?
I've been checking every day to see if Danny has been chucked out the villa, so I'm hoping Tuesday is the day.
Let's hope so, Dave. I'm with you. Fully supportive on that one, Dave. So big thanks to our patrons again. Some great chat over on our Discord channel, guys. And the roll call of honour for today is big thanks to Libby, Katie, Dee Dee, Hannah, Ed, Priscilla, Susan, Hennessy Green, Hayley, Tracy, Lauren, Lucky Lulu Green, and Kent Gustafson. So big thank you, guys. And also, as always, you want to follow us on social media at CD RealityCast. If you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. And if you do get a chance, and we haven't said it for a while, you can drop us a review on your podcast catching app. It just helps us get out there to more people and just helps the show grow as well. And also, Dave, we have another supporter as well. So I just want to, I didn't pick up on this yesterday, so apologies. But we have got someone who's supporting us through Patreon. We have got someone who's supporting us through Anchor now, Dave, as well. And that's Helen joined up. So you can actually go through there if you do want to follow us on Patreon. And she's following us at the one level is $4.99 a month. So thank you so much for that, Helen. We really appreciate that.
That is awesome. Absolutely awesome.
It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. You're totally humbled by it, guys. We really, really thank everybody for the support that you give us.
Now, Chris, another episode in the bag. And we'll be here same time again tomorrow.
No problem. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye now.